WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for joining us on this Tuesday evening. I'm Allie Martin. After more than 3 decades in law enforcement, West Point Police Chief Tim Brinkley is turning in his badge. Brinkley submitted his retirement letter to the city today. Mayor Robbie Robinson says the retirement comes as no surprise. Brinkley has led that department since 2011. He also spent 26 years working for the Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks, and he serves as a pastor. Robinson says Brinkley is a great officer and his retirement well-deserved.
Great law enforcement officer, just a superhuman being. As you know, he's a pastor as well, and he's taken up motorcycle riding. He told me last year he was going to retire this year, and he's bought himself a motorcycle, taking lessons. We just wish him happy trails.
Mayor Robinson says John Langford has been appointed interim police chief. West Point investigators say foul play not involved in a man's death this past weekend. Police Chief Tim Brinkley says an autopsy performed this morning shows a pre-existing medical condition contributed to David Riles' death. There were no signs of blunt force trauma or other factors that would have caused his death. Nicholas Pfeiffer and Kaylee Ray were taken into custody Monday in connection with the investigation. Ray has been released. Pfeiffer remains in jail on unrelated charges. The investigation is still open. Aberdeen police continue searching for a man wanted in connection with a weekend homicide. Investigators are looking for that man, Darren Wilburn, whom they believe shot and killed LaQuinton Walker 3 houses down from his home. Police identified Wilburn as a person of interest Monday, but have been unable to track him down. Chief Henry Randall says the suspect is from the Tupelo area but has been living in Aberdeen. Randall believes a disagreement led to the shooting.
Reason why we come up with that analogy for is him probably being the one that has more involvement in it because of the history that he has with the young man, our victim, last week. And we just need to get him in here, go over several things that we have questions for, and maybe he can answer what we need to answer, and also we need to do a process on him.
The chief says Wilburn is the main suspect, but they still have 2 or 3 others they're questioning. He also says anyone who helps Wilburn can also expect to face charges. And Aberdeen city leaders say it's time for the community to come together during this tragic time. Mayor Maurice Howard expressed his condolences to LaQuinton Walker's family. Howard also says the city will not stand for this type of behavior. Community leaders are working to bring the community together before another young life is taken too soon.
You guys put the guns down and that you come together, love one another. Let's build this community. Let's not be so divisive and divided, but let's come together and work as a unit to move Aberdeen forward.
An anti-violence rally and vigil to remember LaQuinton Walker will take place later on this week. Well, it's time to take a first look at the forecast. Here is Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith, it was hot out there again.
Hot again today. Scattered showers and storms out there again today. You can see the residual effects of those with our Alpha Insurance time lapse from Columbus this evening. The setting sun, some clouds associated with some showers there on the distant horizon as we went throughout the course of the evening hours. You can see these storms that blossomed on up. Once we lost the daytime heating, sun went down, storms went away. Temperatures right now in the upper 70s and low 80s. It is a steamy night out there. Worst case scenario, low 70s tonight. We're back into the low 90s tomorrow. A few pop-up storms. The heat index may be into the triple digits. Full forecast, Allie, in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Keith. The Mississippi University for Women hosts incoming freshmen for orientation today. For many families, the biggest question and concern is surrounding financial aid, as our Victoria Bailey finds that has some potential students already doing a little bit of homework.
It's everything I thought it was going to be when we came here on a recruiting visit. It's everything and more. So I'm very happy, and Mom will be very happy too, because she's going to be safe here at W.
Safety is a top concern, but financial aid runs a close second.
Financial aid, definitely like applying for FAFSA. It was very difficult. So that's, one thing that we were worried about.
Christina Poe is just one of the many students headed to Mississippi University for Women this fall, and her father says if she is going to have a smooth transition from South Carolina to the Magnolia State, they have to do their homework and research before arriving to campus for orientation.
The great thing about the W for me is that the prices and everything were out there online. So being former military, we're using the GI Bill, so really we get a stipend for the monthly dormitory for her room and board. So that was the main thing, and I got to visit the VA person here on campus, and everything's already taken care of.
Kendall Robertson is one of the people tasked with introducing the students to the university. She says with financial aid being a huge concern for many families, they want both the student and parent to have a full understanding moving forward.
Students have an opportunity to meet with financial aid, so financial aid will meet with them, they'll talk to them, actually show them on the computer where they can find their financial aid information, and then the parents and family also have a separate session that is just for them for financial aid. So they have plenty of opportunities to sit down and talk to financial aid and about their options.
Mr. Poe says he's thankful for the assistance from the military, but his family's financial plan doesn't stop at orientation.
But they can get money for their grades, their academic grades and things of that nature. And here at the W they offer some things. She's very interested in history, so she's going to go after a history scholarship at the beginning of the semester. So.
And the last orientation will be August 2nd. Classes start August 24th.
Pretty nice sunset here in Aberdeen. One of those towering clouds, those showers that popped up earlier this evening, that now has gone away. Not too shabby there. Also in Sulligent, Alabama, a little bit of color. Full forecast is next.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Here's our forecast for Wednesday. Can you believe tomorrow is Wednesday, the middle of the work week? We start out with a lot of sunshine, building clouds by noon to 89 degrees, and then some of those clouds may develop and perk up into a few thunderstorms. Our forecast high 92 degrees as an average across our region, a lot of low 90s, and some scattered showers and storms possible. The heat index, again, anywhere between about 95 and 105 tomorrow. This is our Alpha Insurance time lapse from Tupelo. You can see some of those building clouds here this evening on the western horizon, some of those towers that did produce some evening showers, even a little bit of thunder shower activity. Few and far between was the rainfall today. You either got it or you didn't. And you can see some of these spots in and around the Columbus area, western Lowndes County, maybe over 2 inches. Some other spots, a quick ½ inch of rain to 1 inch. But other spots where you see the gray base map, that is 0. So feast or famine again today. And all of that has gone by the wayside now that we've lost the heating of the sun. And it looks like a fairly quiet night for us. But what we had out there today, those showers and storms, will blossom up again tomorrow and really for the next week or so with this juiced up air mass in place. Now look at all these big time storms up here across Minnesota and the Dakotas today. Severe thunderstorms, tornado producing thunderstorms. All of that really being driven by the jet stream. That's an active storm track, and that is well to the north. This is where it is this time of year, well to our north. So the best chance for severe weather on Wednesday, look at this, from the high plains through the Great Lakes. And on Thursday, it will sink just a little bit to the south, but still well to the north of our region. However, we can't rule out a few summer storms around here. Frequent lightning, torrential downpours, gusty breezes, most of them benign. But we can't rule out maybe a pulse severe storm from time to time with the juiced up atmosphere. But overall, we're not really looking at a lot of severe weather, but you could see a pretty good downpour tomorrow if one of those showers or storms finds your backyard or the highway you are on. You may see some blinding rain. Same story into our Thursday too. As we check out the big picture here going into end of the work week, you can see scattered showers and storms possible for tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. There will be a front that will come on in and wash out this weekend. So as long as that thing's around, still the chance for storms around here this weekend, but it's not going to give us any dry air. So we are ensconced in the tropical air right now, and it is going nowhere fast. Highs in the low 90s for the next 7 days, lows in the 70s, and the heat index at times, Alley, in the triple digits.
All right, thank you much, Keith. Healthcare reform is a big topic on Capitol Hill right now and in North Mississippi. A forum today discusses the options. We have more on that right after the break. And welcome back. Healthcare reform on Capitol Hill brings together various groups in our area who may be impacted by whatever happens in D.C. Representatives from different organizations gathered at Tupelo's Link Center for a healthcare reform forum. Guest speakers talked about the possible impacts new healthcare legislation could have on nonprofits and the public, and it's a way for people to prepare for some time of healthcare reform whenever that happens.
Your average person across our state, across the country, doesn't know what to expect. And our goal in these meetings across the state is to educate the public about what might be happening.
Stay in touch with what's going on. Talk to your senators, talk to your representatives. Let them know what your feelings are and ask them questions. How will this impact?
The Mississippi Health Advocacy Program is sponsoring those meetings all across the state this week. Well, in an effort to make learning fun and healthy, the Mississippi University for Women is continuing its health initiative. The Passport to Wellness Teacher Institute is a program sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield Foundation of Mississippi. 20 elementary school teachers were on campus to learn unique ways to help the students learn more effectively in the classroom. Organizers say getting the kids to move helps with their studies.
And what they're doing is we're incorporating physical activity and nutrition in everyday subjects. PE is getting cut across the board, and so as teachers and as a community, we've got to figure out how we're going to get physical activity for these kids.
Each of the 20 teachers work with mentors who have more than 3 decades of teaching experience in physical education. Well, coming up, we feature Celigent on the tour, plus recap Mississippi State's day in Hoover at SEC Media Days. That is up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe.
The media frenzy was on in Hoover today as Mississippi State took their turn on the SEC Football Media Day carousel. Shoes, a topic as always, so are the suits. But we're talking football tonight, so is our Tom Ebel. He has more on the day with the Dogs. Tom?
Thank you, Robbie. For a team that finished below 500 a year ago, the Mississippi State Bulldogs came into Hoover with a bit of a swagger, a bit of a confidence of a team that's ready to make some noise in the SEC in 2017.
I think we have an opportunity to be as good as any team in the country. So I think as long as we lock in and prepare the right way, we'll be able to compete and beat anybody in the country.
I just tell them keep sleeping. We embrace it. We don't pay too much attention to it. We just use it as motivation. Using day in, day out, let that be our reason and let that be the push that we need at practice for the days that we don't feel like doing it or the days that we kind of get down on ourselves. Just turn around and use it as motivation.
The big topic for the Bulldogs came from the guy who surprisingly wasn't here in Hoover for the Bulldogs Media Day, junior quarterback Nick Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, of course, broke out in 2016, leading the SEC in total yards, and now that he's solely in control of the starting gig, Mississippi State expects big things in year 2 from Fitz.
He's a great player, a great worker, hard worker, a great leader. So I expect big things from him. So, I know he's going to be better in the pass game than he was last year, and he's going to continue to get better in the running game. I see nothing but steps forward.
I think when you have that experience, where the stage isn't going to be too big for you. You know what I mean? Where, hey, you know, I've been in a game, you know, trying to win a game on the final play of the game. I've been in this hostile environment. Hey, I've been ahead and we've had to hold on to the league. I've been behind and we've had to try to come back. I've been in these moments before, and that can give you a little bit more comfort and confidence the next time around in those situations.
Head coach Dan Mullen says in his first SEC Media Day as head coach at Mississippi State, the iPad wasn't released to the public. Now in his 9th season, Mullen is one of the longest tenured coaches in the constantly changing SEC.
When you have everybody on the same page with the university administration, that certainly helps an awful lot in longevity. And you know, I think the fact that we've gone to a school record 7 straight bowl games, you know, we've been #1 team in the country. We compete on a regular basis as a very successful team, and we've had a lot of success on the field. We've had a lot of success off the field. Went to a bowl game last year because of academics.
SEC Media Days rolls along throughout this week. Coming up on Wednesday, we'll hear from the Alabama Crimson Tide, and on Thursday, we'll hear from head coach Hugh Freeze and the Ole Miss Rebels. Reporting here in Hoover, Tom Ebel, WCBI Sports.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. To the high school football tour. Hey, speaking of being in the Yellowhammer State for football, we were in Hoover today. We continue Alabama week as tonight we check in with head coach Daniel Merchant and the Sulligent Blue Devils on stop 23 of our 60 in 60 marathon.
WCBI 60 Schools in 60 Days is brought to you by Toyota, Let's Go Places, and Emerson Animal Hospital, where your pets are family in West Point.
Last year didn't end the way we wanted it to, and going into year 3, you know, our kids know our system and they believe in our system, and they're really working hard. So I feel pretty good and pretty confident in their abilities going into year 3.
A disappointing first-round exit in the playoffs in 2016 has the Sulligent Blue Devils hungry for success in 2017.
We went there to play a very good Tanner team last year. A premier program in this state in 2A was definitely an eye-opener for a lot of our kids, and gave them some motivation to work harder this off-season to get to where Tanner is.
It helped out a lot of the younger guys, and really it kind of motivated us to be better than we was last year. And it's really motivated us to be more successful.
We've all grown up playing together, and I feel like this year we're going to have a lot better leadership than we did last year. That was one of our big deals, was we lacked leadership. And when it came time to win ball games, we didn't have that leadership to help put the games away. So I feel like coming into this season, we've been working hard, and I feel like we're going to make a big change this season, make a run.
Anytime you have 18, 19 seniors on the roster here at Sulligent is a unique season and a lot of expectations, and we're ready to get it started for sure.
One of those returning seniors is all-purpose machine Tyreek Metcalf, racking up more than 1,300 total yards and 15 touchdowns a year ago. Merchant is excited to see one more season with number 15.
He's a dynamic player. You know, we try to get the ball in his hands most every possession. We like to give it to him every play, but you know, we got to rest him a little bit. But he's a unique player for sure.
If making a deep playoff run wasn't enough motivation for the Blue Devils in 2017, Sulligent will look to knock off longtime rival Lamar County from the top of Region 8 2A.
It definitely gets a fire starter under years. We're coming for them. They ain't going to be ready for us. We're going to come for them, and we're going to get them.
The Blue Devils begin their title pursuit with a 3-game homestand, starting with Marion County. In Sulligent with the Blue Devils, Tom Ebel, WCBI Sports.
60 Schools in 60 Days with Sulligent High School was brought to you by the Bank of Vernon, Shop and Save, Vernon Dental, and Alpha agent Alicia Clark.
Yeah, Tom Ebel doing work today. Not only did he do SEC Media Days, but he also did our tour package. So big ups to him. Tour will continue tomorrow. We'll check in with the South Lamar Stallions. We call them the Fighting Joey Barnes as we continue Alabama week. And we'll check with Nick Saban, the Tide, in Hoover. That's it for sports. Last look at your forecast next.
And welcome back. Harvey's in Starkville was going to the Dogs tonight, but that's a good thing. The popular restaurant hosted a celebrity wait night to raise money for the Oktibbeha County Humane Society. A number of notables were on hand, including Maryland's Rural Sheriff Steve Gladney and our very own Andrea Self, and even Bully made an appearance. The fun night supports some serious work.
So basically tonight is about the community coming together to help a cause that they feel is worthy, and of course I do too, and that's the Humane Society. We're very proud to have a community support like we do.
Now, Andrea tells us WCBI alum Jeffrey Rupp had people lined up to get in his section. See, he's still a celebrity.
Okay, and I did see a few folks eating outside in that first frame of video there. I don't know, you may want to be
hot.
Eating indoors. You just
hot,
lose that appetite if you're sitting out in that heat and humidity. Maybe a salad or something. Okay, weather-wise, more or less the same story for the next 7 days.
All right, very good. Just be ready in case any rain comes up.
There you go.
And thank you for spending part of your Tuesday with us. We'll see you later.